just has that for fun. Don't worry about it.
Do you want it on?
Alright. It's fine. No pressure.
You're good.
So first of all, I'd like to say congratulations to Julie for wonderful Julia. I call her Julie, we're just close like that. But when I think of talents, I think of, the thing that everyone says, oh, that person's really good at that. We should have him do that for us, or we should have him do this in church because he's really good at that. And so I don't really have a lot of things that people ask me to do in front of other people, but I do feel, I have been told that I am talented in giving advice. And so I decided that one of the things that I could probably most contribute today is I get into conversations often with my friends from the female gender, and the topic of conversation often turns to dating and boys, which happens to be their favorite topic of conversation. You can shake your head if it's not true. But I don't know, I get asked a lot of questions about things like, girls aren't supposed to ask guys on dates, so what are they supposed to do if they know that they like a guy and they really want to date him? They just feel constrained. I don't know if you girls have felt the same emotion, but it seems like it's happened from time to time. And so I have developed a theory that I would like to share with you today. I don't share it very often, but I share it with some girls, and they tend to like it a lot. And I call it the pleasant and present approach. And what this is, it's basically what it sounds like. If you like a guy, and you know that you like him, and you know that you would like to date him, the two greatest things that you can do, this is completely my opinion, and you can test it out on your own, is the two greatest things you can do are to be very pleasant with that person and to be very present with that person. And so let me give you an example. I had a friend. All right. I have a friend, let's say his name's Ethan. And Ethan is my roommate. And I have another friend who's in the ward, and she really likes Ethan, and she lets me know without making it seem like she wants me to know. And so we get on the conversation that she really likes Ethan, and so I decide, I can help a sister out. I'll share my present approach with her. And the thing is, the number one key ingredient to the pleasant present approach is she's already decided that she likes him. Girls are a lot like guys, where they don't know exactly what they want most of the time. And they count that for bad luck or whatever. But the fact is, you don't know what you want, you won't get it. So you have to first of all decide what you want. You have to decide who you want. And then you have to make a plan. And so let's say this girl decides that she likes Ethan, or she likes him a lot. And so she comes up to me, her roommate, and she asks me for advice, and I tell her, this is a true story, by the way, I changed names for the sake of privacy. But she asks me what to do, and I tell her, you need to be pleasant and present. And so what she does is she shows up at my apartment all the time, and she'll stop by at least once a day and have a little excuse, something like, oh, did you see this on your door? It doesn't matter what your excuse is, as long as you're in the door. Because once you're in the door, it's comfortable for you to stay as long as you want. And once you're in the door and you're making your presence known, that guy, whether he admits it or not, you've made it onto his should I ask this girl on a date list. And that list can run pretty short at times. Because girls aren't pleasant present all the time. And so she's being present, she's already made it onto that list. And I'm not saying that there's a guarantee that he's going to ask you on a date. There still probably is, depending on how much he likes you, there might not be that good of a chance. Because guys can be shy, and they can, create in their mind situations that, oh, she probably is still dating that guy that she sits next to in church all the time. And so you have to make sure that you're present enough to where he feels more and more comfortable with, okay, like I know her well enough to where it wouldn't be too weird for me to ask her on a date. And so what you're essentially doing is you're cutting the awkwardness, you're stripping it piece by piece from your relationship with him without being overly forward. And so the pleasant approach is what will give him confidence. It will feed his confidence tank. And so if you want to feed his confidence tank, you have to give him compliments, you have to notice things about him, you have to say he has great hair, or that he wears really nice ties, or you like his laugh. Some stuff that won't be overly weird, just nice compliments. And niceness never will work against you. I'll just say that. If you're nice, the worst that can happen is they can already have decided that they didn't like you and already decide that they're not going to ask you out on a date. So it's pretty much, there's nowhere to go but up. And so if you give yourself enough time being pleasant and present, you're going to strip away his awkwardness of being around you, and he's going to feel comfortable going on a date. Now the danger with this approach is it can become an addiction to a girl. She can fit into that category of being the nice, I'll show up at your apartment every now and then friend, and just kind of stay there. And guys, some of them have the determination and know how to ask a girl on a date in the first 1 or 2 weeks of knowing, but most guys don't. And so most guys won't ask you on a date for the first several weeks of knowing you. And so I like to give a 2-week window to the pleasant present approach. So give yourself 2 weeks. Show up a lot. Be really present with him. Become good friends with him. Get to know him, and then disappear. After 2 weeks, stop showing up as a partner. Stop bringing cookies by. That doesn't mean you ignore him if he sees you passing by. Still be pleasant, be nice, but don't be overly pleasant. Don't be overly present. Just keep away as much as you can, because what that will do is that will plant the potential seed of she might be out of my should I ask this girl on a date list. And guys don't like to have girls leave that list on their own accord. They like to be the one that crosses them. And so that will up his chances 50% of him asking you on a date. And so if you want to be asked out by a guy, I have to cut this short because we're cutting into call time. But be pleasant, be present, give yourself a 2-week window and disappear. And if he doesn't ask you out, get over it and choose a new guy. And give him the exact same method. And then within a couple of times, you'll get the hang of it, and let me know what you think, because I'd be very interested to know. So, thank you.